Housing is becoming even more expensive in this country. The National Association of Realtors says the median price of a house last month was just over $350,000. That's more than 15% increase from a year ago, and prices are expected to continue climbing. Also, sales of existing homes surged nearly 7% from December, but were down more than 2% from a year ago. That's largely because there were so few of them to buy, a record low, in fact. For those experiencing homelessness, finding a place to live right now can be especially challenging. Newsy national correspondent Stephanie Sandoval met a man who's trying to build a better life for him and his daughter.
Here in Nashville, affordable housing is hard to come by. The city has a huge deficit when it comes to affordable housing, with affordable units being lost and sold to developers daily, leaving some no choice but to live on the streets.
Is busy tracking private intelligence firms.
Terry Warren takes it day by day. He's currently living in temporary housing and taking care of his adopted daughter.
There you go.
They moved in a couple weeks ago after the city of Nashville, Tennessee notified residents they were closing down their encampment as part of a push to end homelessness.
When they got ready to shut the camp down, they moved us in a week before they got ready to shut it down. So we just did make it. Well, if you need anything, let me know, okay?
He says he has the Salvation Army and a local nonprofit, Open Table Nashville, to thank.
With their help, we can become a normal, productive citizens again. That's all I ever wanted anyway. I never really liked it handout. Not everything is going to be the way you want it to be. You might not want that handout, but you might not have no choice. That's what happened to me. I didn't have no choice.
This is where they used to live, right under this bridge, until the city said it was time to go. Now there's a fence and signs that say no encampments. At one point, about 30 people were living under the Jefferson Street Bridge in Nashville, according to Warren. Now he's in a hotel. The Salvation Army is helping him and others find permanent housing options. Vanderbilt University professor Beth Shinn studies homelessness. The biggest barrier, she says, there is not enough affordable housing.
The main driver of homelessness is inability to afford the rent. So as rents have gone up, wages have not kept up.
She also wants people to know that homelessness is temporary.
The closest thing we have to a silver bullet to end homelessness would be an expansion of the Housing Choice Voucher Program to all the households that are poor enough to be eligible. But right now, there's enough funding for only about 1 in 4 eligible households, and waiting lists are long.
A homeless assessment report notes the number of veterans experiencing sheltered homelessness decreased by 10% between 2020 and 2021, the largest one-year decline since 2015-2016.
And we indeed cut veteran homelessness in half between 2010 and 2019 because the Department of Housing and Urban Development and the Department of Veterans Affairs put in the resources. And mayors made housing veterans in their cities a priority, but nobody offered the same level of resources to other groups, and homelessness among other groups barely budged.
Shinn asserts this is proof we know how to end homelessness.
Homelessness is a choice, not by the people living on the streets, but by the rest of us when we look the other way. We have the resources in the United States to house everyone. It's a question of political will.
All of the things that I saw up under the bridge, like the drug uses and stuff like that, I really think that instead of them throwing these people out, what they really need to do is get them some counseling and help them get over that drug problem, then help them weave themselves back into society. The story that I can tell you is about how God did a lot of work for me helping people up under the tent.
At 67 years old, Warren says sharing his story is a step forward.
If we don't speak, there's nothing to tell. But if we tell, then the world can hear and learn what's really going on out here.
What's next for Terry? He says his priority is his daughter, who he adopted off the streets 4 years ago. He is still looking for permanent housing. Back to you.